Is it possible to have a farm-to-table restaurant in the winter in New York State, in the Northeast? Restaurants sign prime vendor contracts, and they'll buy 80 to 90% of all their products from one distributor. You have options, people, to buy all this local food, local drinks, local spirits, local beverages, local. We're in the Hudson Valley, people. We're in New York State. I go to a lot of restaurants and I see the sign, I see the designation, farm to table, and there's nothing on the menu in the wintertime, and it drives me crazy. It just happened last night to me at another place. And all these places are saying, we support local. They put the signs out front, we support local and farm to table and oh, but it's November and there's nothing available, or it's March and there's nothing available right now. That's why we don't have anything local. Because the first thing I ask is, what's local? What's good? What do you have that's fresh and local from our area? This video here, please share this video with a restaurant that wants to buy more local, that says they're buying local, but you don't think they are buying enough local. A chef that just needs an education on what's out there. Now I'm going to specifically talk about the Hudson Valley in upstate New York, but this is applicable in a lot of parts of the country where there's winter, okay? So here's the deal. I buy from a lot of different companies. I buy from a lot of farms. I'm going to read off my list, which I get every week from one of my co-ops, distributors, food hubs, and then just explain to you what exactly is available in this beautiful Hudson Valley of ours. And it's snowing outside right now. And there's stuff that is available, that's been available all winter. And people think of farm to table as basically produce. It goes far beyond produce. So let's look at what's in our immediate area. Now, I'm gonna read off of a list of a distributor that only specializes in local products. That's all they do. In fact, what they do is, they pick up the food the day before at the farm. It never even goes into a warehouse. It stays on the truck and it gets delivered to me the next day. It's a great system. And they're basically just like a hub or transportation company for farmers, okay? So here we go. So cheeses. Hudson Valley's loaded with cheeses. Sprout Creek Farm, Poughkeepsie, loaded. The list is loaded here. Chelsom Farm, they have a brown Swiss. Edcorn Hill, all kinds of goat cheeses. Now these are grass-fed, these are natural, these are practicing organic. These are people that are doing the right things. Edcorn, Chelsom, Sprout Creek. I mean, there's a whole. I'm going down a spreadsheet. There's 51 pages, people, of stuff that's available from the Hudson Valley. So I'm going to sort of condense this list and go down. McGrath cheese. They make a fresco cheese. Sprout Creek, Hawthorne Valley from the Hudson Valley. McGrath, Chelsom, Hawthorne, Edcorn. All right, next topic is eggs, local eggs. Of course, chickens lay eggs all year, right? Yellow Bell Farm, Turkana Farm, Sparrowbush Farm, Yellow Bell, Sparrowbush, Dashing Star Farms, Hermance Farms, Hudson Valley Cattle Company does quail eggs. There's chicken eggs here. There's duck eggs here. Going down, dairy, Ronnie Brook Farms over in Pine Plains, more Hawthorne Valley. I don't know this one. Artigani del Gelato, so a local gelato company that's using local products. A whole page of that. More Ronnie Brook. Ronnie Brook makes so many things from ice cream to milk. We use a lot of Ronnie Brook products here in our restaurant. We use their ice cream exclusively. Corn Hill, Hawthorne, Ronnie Brook. Okay, next topic, grains. Local grains. Wild High Farms for Poughkeepsie. Corn flour, cornmeal, polenta, buckwheat flour. I love buckwheat flour. We use a lot of it. Bread flour, pastry flour, dark rye flour, emmer flour, spelt berries, granola, maple. I mean, they have. You need to bake. You got stuff right there to bake. Hermance Farms has a ton of herbs: basil, parsley, sage, and thyme. Let's see, fruit. Fruit, it's the middle of the winter. What do you think about fruit? Fruit, well, we have storage crops here in the Northeast, just like a lot of parts of cold areas with potatoes and carrots and fruits like apples. So here we go. Apples, there's a whole list of Cameo, Cortland, Empire, Fiji, Galas, Braeburns, Golden Delicious, Granny Smith, Jonna Gold, Macintosh, Mitsu, Red Delicious, and tons of farms. Wright Farms, Sam Scott Farms, Mead Orchards, Migliori Farms. I mean, there's 5 or 6 farms just on this list alone that have apples that are available right now for delivery that are local. More fruit, berries. We have some dried berries. There are some jams that are local. Dried currants, dried black currants, frozen currants, currant concentrate. Pears. There's actually local pears available. It's March 10th, 2017. You get local pears from Migliori Farms. You can get plum puree, local plum puree. Sour cherries from Sam Scott Orchards. Sour cherries frozen, a 10-pound case or a 40-pound case of local frozen cherries. That can make a lot of dessert items. That can make something nice. Vegetables. People, it's March 10th and there's vegetables available. Now, we're still picking kale in our garden. Kale, and I don't have it protected. I don't have a cover on it, but I can go walk outside right now and pick kale out of our garden. Arugula from Whistledown Farms. Arugula from Farm On Foundation. Asian greens from Hermance. All kinds of beans from MX Morningstar Farms. I love them. They got great kale. They got great products there. Beets. All kinds of beets. Rogrowski Farms, Sunsprout Farms, Migliori Farms, MX Morningstar Farms. Burdock. Burdock from Paffenroth Gardens. Frozen butternut squash, diced and pureed from Mead Orchards. Cabbage from Rogrowski Farms. Carrots from several different options for carrots. Sunsprout Farms, Whistledown Farms, Migliori Farms, Poughkeepsie Farm Projects, Rogrowski Farms. There's literally like 10 different options for local carrots. Different sizes, different colors, different heirloom varietals. Chinese cabbage from Poughkeepsie Farm Project. I got their kale this week. It was awesome. Awesome red Russian kale. Kale from Poughkeepsie Farm Project. Whistledown Farms has baby kale. Ober Creek Farm has baby red Russian kale, 3-pound and 5-pound case. Lettuce mix from Ober Creek Farm. More kale. Mesclun from Poughkeepsie Farm Project. Several different types of mesclun. Whistledown has mesclun. Paffenroth has Cipollini onions, large onions, Spanish onions. Parsnips from Migliori. Parsnips from Hermance. Pea shoots from MX Farms. Peppers diced. Oh, these are peppers diced frozen. These are processed food from Homequest Farms. Potatoes from Paffenroth Farms. I mean, a whole page of potatoes here. Rogrowski, Paffenroth, MX Morningstar. Radishes, MX Morningstar. Whistledown, Poughkeepsie Farm Project. Mizuna. That's a green. That's a green. Rutabaga from Morningstar Farms. More Rutabaga. 2 different farms from Rutabaga. Salad mix from Sparrowbush. Whistledown. Spinach from Hermance, Sparrowbush, Sam Scott. Squashes from Mead Orchard, Sam Scott. Wright's Farm. Sweet potatoes from Roxbury Farm. Swiss chard from Poughkeepsie Farm Project. Tomato Barange, Hermance Farm. I'm not sure what that is. I guess it's some kind of type of tomato. Purple top turnips, Paffenroth Farms. More turnips from Sunsprout Farms. Okay, this is just the produce that's available right now. So if you're a restaurant, you can make a lot of things from all the grains that are there, all the dairy, the cheeses. I mean, I didn't list the specific type of cheeses. There's probably 25 to 30 different types of cheeses that I can buy this week that are actually local to here, within 50 miles, 40, 50 miles of the restaurant. Now, proteins. These are fresh proteins, meaning they were processed locally, fresh this week. Beef ribeyes, all through Hudson Valley Cattle Company, hanger steaks, top rounds, chicken liver, chicken breast, all from Yellow Bell Farms, Northwind Farms, whole chickens. More whole chickens from Yellow Bell. Hudson Valley Cattle Company has duck breast, duck legs, whole ducks. Dashing Star has whole lamb available. Sprout Creek Farm has Duroc pork. Bacon, all kinds of bacon from Charcuterie Farms. Charcuterie Farms also makes all different types of sausage from local meats. Dashing Star Farms has lamb bacon. Yes, lamb bacon. It's expensive. I've never tried it. There's Black Sheep Hill Farm has pork bacon. I've bought some sausages from Black Sheep Farm, our bratwurst for in the fall, in September for Oktoberfest. Outrageous product. People loved it. Northwind Farms has beef brisket. There's beef heart, beef liver, of course, beef roast bottom round. Turkana Farms. JSK Cattle has beef products. Wheatley Farms has, when we buy Wheatley Farms burger meat, we exclusively buy their burger meat. They have shanks available. There's beef short ribs, beef stew, beef brisket, more calf's liver, chuck steak bone in, eye rounds. There's all kinds of hot dogs. There's ground beef, several different suppliers. And this is Wheatley, Carl Farms, Mealy Farms, Roxbury, Hudson Valley Cattle Company, Turkana, Northwind Farms. Herondale Farms has ground beef, ground patties. I don't know. There's London broil. There's short ribs. There's sirloin steaks. There's stew meat. There's goat available from Hudson Valley Kinder's Farm. Chicken from Northwind, Yellow Bell. All kinds of chicken breasts, chicken livers, chicken whole chickens, chicken legs. Cornish hens from Northwind Farms. Duck. All kinds of duck. Guinea hens. Fresh guinea fowls, Turkana Farms, more goat products. Northwind Farm has hams. They have turkeys. There's all kinds of turkeys available from Northwind Farms, all different sizes. Sausages, chorizo, Barese sausages, Italian sausages, Dashing Star Farms, lamb neck steaks, lamb merguez sausage, roasting lamb racks, lamb rib chops, shoulder chops, lamb tenderloins, lamb ground, lamb leg, pork belly, pork chops, fresh ham, pork chops, pork loins, pork tenderloins. Turkana Farms, Wheatley Farms, Black Sheep Farms, Northwind, Hudson Valley Cattle Company, Bluestone Hill Farms has some ground lamb. Old Forge Farms has some pork products. Roxbury, Bonnecue Ducks has quail breasts. There's more goat products. Charcuterie, here's a whole list of sausages. There's breakfast sausage, people. There's chorizo, beef chorizo, pork chorizo, lamb chorizo. Bratwurst that comes locally from Wheatley Farms. Sweet Italian sausage. Another whole page of just sausages. More turkeys from Northwind Farms. Hudson Valley Kinders has whole turkeys as well. Seafood, there's trout that comes locally here. That comes through Hudson Valley Cattle Company, which comes from up in Livingston Manor. That's on our website, by the way. We use their trout. Specialty items. Black beans. We use black beans like crazy here, and we buy black beans through here. There's Wild Hive Farms. Upstate more in the Finger Lakes is a company called Farmer Ground, which has a ton of stuff that we use as well. Not quite within the 50-mile radius of us here, but 100 miles up, Farmer Ground has a lot of products as well. We use their white beans year-round. Pinto beans, red beans, white navy beans, and of course, all these types of honeys. Ray Tusi Honey, Wild Hive Farms, Tusi. Indoor Organic Gardens of Poughkeepsie has microgreens, arugula, broccoli, cabbage, kale, mizuna, radish. These are all microgreens like sprouts. Spicy mix, rainbow mix. These are all, there's tons of different pack sizes. Mushrooms, Bullock Farms, cremini mushrooms, oyster mushrooms, portobello mushrooms, shiitake mushrooms, white mushrooms. This is literally a whole page of just mushrooms that are available locally, people. Ober Creek Farms, pea shoots, sunflower sprouts. There actually is, not on this list, but I buy a local sunflower oil from Poughkeepsie, from Dutchess County, cold-pressed sunflower oil. Apple butter, apple cider, half gallons of apple cider. They're still pressing. There's cider vinegar available too. Sam Scott Orchards, McGlory Farms, Wright Farms has applesauce with blackberry, applesauce with blueberry. It's more of a retail product, but it's here. Migliori's has a Bloody Mary mix. One of the companies I buy from Hudson Valley Harvest, you can buy local tomatoes that are bag-in-the-box tomatoes. You can buy all kinds of processed food. I buy local frozen corn kernels from them. Dried currants from Current Sea Farms. Sauerkrauts, all from Hawthorne Valley. There's a jalapeno sauerkraut in 5 gallon. There's a turmeric sauerkraut. So it's ginger pickled carrots, 5 gallons. Juices, apple peach juice, apple plum juice, apple sea buckthorn. Tomato juice you can buy from Migliore. Kimchi, more kimchi from Hawthorne Valley. Scottish-style oats from Wild Hive Farms. Yes, your oatmeal can be. Local pasta from them. Using local flour. Carl Family Farms has salamis, chorizo, hot chorizo, cherry bomb hot sausage, jalapeno hot sausage, hot pepper sausage. There's tomato sauces from Migliore. More sauerkraut from Sauerkraut Seth. That's another local producer. More sauerkraut from Hawthorne. There's a whole page of sauerkraut. Shrub syrups, the Hudson Standard. That's for the bar mixers. Sorbet. There's a whole sorbet company here. Understand, this is only one distributor. This is only one distributor from one small region within the 40, 50 miles of me here in Ellenville. If I look to Baldor Foods out of the city, I can get all these products from Long Island that are growing out there. They have a more temperate climate than us. Baldor also specializes in Jersey products, so I can get Jersey products that go on down south towards Atlantic City. So these are 120 miles from us. I mentioned the Hudson Standard in this list that sells local bitters that I can use at the bar here. I was at a restaurant the other day that has a sign outside, we buy local, we buy local, we buy local. You walk inside, you look at the bar, and it's just like a major disappointment because the bar at this place had Stella Artois, had all big brand, big major corporate brand America or international big conglomerate brands behind the bar. And you know, one thing here at my bar is we love buying local, we love supporting independent, we love buying from real people, real companies. I think that one of the things about farm to table restaurants is they really often overlook the fact that you can extend that farm to table concept well beyond the kitchen and go right to the bar here and really just look for all these really cool local products that come from our region as well. My bar is filled with 250 different spirits and no big brands. There's tons of local beers in the Hudson Valley. You're putting a sign outside your restaurant that says, we support local. But then when you walk inside, it's a whole different picture. And there's restaurant after restaurant after restaurant that does that. And I wish somebody could just plead with these people that you have options, people, to buy all this local food, local drinks, local spirits, local beverages, local. We're in the Hudson Valley, people. We're in New York State. We have one wine by the glass from a very local Hudson Valley winery, but then we have 4 others from New York State wineries. And especially if you're on the wine trail or within the vicinity of wineries, people are going to come to your restaurant. People are going to come to your restaurant that are tourists and say, hey, what do you have that's local around? Because I want to enjoy something that's local. It happens here all the time. And we're 25 minutes from the closest winery. And they're like, hey, we're here to drink local wine. What do you have? What local bourbon do you have? What local whiskey do you have? What local beer do you have? People come inside, they look right at my tap handles, and they go, what's local? What's New York? What you know? People are very conscious. Consumers are more and more conscious about making decisions. I don't think enough restaurants give the consumer that much credit to say, well, I can actually sell more local products in my restaurant year round. And I know some chefs are lazy and some restaurant owners don't want to start buying from multiple vendors. And that can be somewhat of a hassle when they start paying bills, accounting, especially in smaller operations where the owner does everything himself. For example, a lot of restaurants sign prime vendor contracts, and they'll buy 80 to 90% of all their products from one distributor in the kitchen, from one house, from one warehouse. And they just think that, well, that's easy because they just go down a whole list and deal with one salesperson. I have to deal with somebody for palm sugar, with chocolate, for agave, a separate person, for our seitan ingredients, I deal with a whole separate vendor. So we're just dealing with vendors across the board. And it takes a little more work. But once you get everything in place, it runs like clockwork. As long as you're very organized and detail-orientated, you can have all your spreadsheets out. Everything can be done. It's super simple to do. It does take a lot more work, though. but you can minimize that work. So next time you're in a farm-to-table restaurant, ask them what's local. Ask them where the cheese is, where the meats are, where the fish is, where the sauerkraut is. Ask them where all these products come from and let them know, hey, you can run a restaurant, not solely on local things, but you can add a lot more to the mix. And I think some restaurants think, well, there's not much around and there, it's not going to make a difference. The more you research, the more you will find. Trust me, there's all these websites now with directories. There's cheese directories for the Hudson Valley and beyond. There's all kinds of brewery directories, distillery directories, winery directories. As a restaurateur, there's no excuse for not supporting local. I'm Chef Marcus Guiliano. Thanks for watching. If you like my videos, please hit like, subscribe to my restaurant, to my channel. If you like my restaurant, please come in and eat with us, support us. We appreciate that. And happy eats.